What do you think of this crush of interest in you?
Uh, Not really surprising. I mean, it was like that at Kentucky, so it's kind of it's neat to have a lot of interest in me. So it's a cool feeling.
Willie, what's the biggest thing that NBA teams have been asking you? What do they want to know about you?
A lot of personality stuff. What kind of kid are you? Why you do certain things? Why did you dye your hair blonde? Why do you have so many tattoos? So it's a lot of stuff just to see what kind of person you are, and that's big. What kind of person you're going to be in the locker room? Do you have a lot of problems with people? And just little questions like that, just to try to fill you out and see if we draft you, are you going to be a cancer to the team?
What did you respond when they asked you why did you dye your hair? Why did you do this or that?
Young. Young. It's dumb. You live and you learn. It was cool for 30 minutes, and then had to live with it for the rest of my life. Why did you do that? Well, I don't know, I was young.
Willie, what do you
Of what you weren't able to show at Kentucky that you'll be able to show in workouts?
Jump shot, scoring. I didn't have to do that at Kentucky, so when I do get in the workouts, teams are going to realize that this dude really does have some offensive game that he didn't show, and that's what I've been working on heavy, and I'm excited to show people that I can be an offensive presence. I can do a lot of different things on the offensive side and still kill on defense. So putting that together, you make a world class athlete. That he can be.
How would you compare this combine with the Kentucky combine last October?
This is dude's livelihood. You see him out there, they're playing 5-on-5, but that's for their life. That's the way they got to play. You're playing for a job and you're playing for your livelihood. So it's different. Kentucky, we was doing it to showcase our skills, but it wasn't oh man, I still had a whole season to show that I can improve. But here's the real deal. You show up and you do really well, you look good and you get drafted, or you show up and you don't do so well, and now they're questioning, can you really play? And that's difficult to go into it, and knowing that, so knowing that and going in there to have to do that is tough.
How much of these questions from NBA teams do you feel like are the gist of them is to find out, do you love the game? I've heard from people, that'll be the number one question about you, because you have, and you've sort of talked to us about it, laughed about it, but because you have other interests and outside interests that maybe teams want to know that.
And a lot of it is, a lot of the quote-unquote interests that I have is not really interests. I don't really like art, and it got put on me early. I really don't enjoy art. I've never really studied art like that, but it got put on you early. So, and talk. Talk spreads. People talk. So the spreading of it, makes a wildfire. All right, so now we got to ask the question, so are you interested in all these other things? No, my life revolves around the ball. University of Kentucky, you have maybe 1 hour, 2 hours to yourself to do something. Now I'm sleeping those hours, you know what I'm saying? So,
is that the biggest question? Do you feel like that is their biggest question? These teams, do they want to? Is that the main thing they're trying to find out about you in particular? Or do you love the game?
Some of them. Some of them it don't even come up in an interview, which I'm surprised, because that was one of the biggest things. Coach Cal and Coach Payne was telling me, they're gonna want to know, do you love the game? I don't imagine not playing the game. It's never entered my mind, dang, I don't want to play the game of basketball. If I didn't want to play, then I wouldn't play. It's that simple. There's no reason to play if you're not trying to play.
You know when the Hornets